If you are a second, third, or fourth year medical student studying outside India trying to figure out how to study using Prepladder, then this video is definitely for you. Hi guys, it's me Shwetlana. I'm a fourth year medical student from Guangxi Medical University, South China, and this video is going to be extremely detailed and a very honest take from my side on how I improved my study techniques over time using Prepladder. So before getting right into the video, please like and share this video and also subscribe, as it helps me reach out more people. So let's get right into the first point, that is choosing what subjects to start from. Yes, so after doing your intense research on what study resources to follow, whether to select Prepladder or to study from Marrow or to refer to some coaching institute notes, you finally decided that you're going to be doing from Prepladder. But now the next big question is choosing which subjects to start from. Especially if you've already been done with your third year, you've already studied anatomy, physio, pharma, everything, right? So now you're like whether to start from those or to continue your subjects like medicine, surgery, radiology, right? My honest take on that is definitely start with your preclinicals first, because there's a very I'm sure that you guys have heard this a lot, like make your base strong, like make your concepts clear. This is very important, especially later when you are exposed to subjects like medicine, diagnostics, right? These play a very important role. So what I'm trying to say is there is in a certain sequence of subjects that is given in the app itself. You can refer to those. For example, there is anatomy first, then there is physiology, biochem, microbio, accordingly, right? So just go with that format and then follow that one. Not be intimidated by the fact that you've already done all those preclinical subjects before and that you're just gonna be starting with big subjects like surgery. Please don't do that. Go with the basics first properly. Even if you've done through some previous coaching institutes, I would highly recommend you guys go through the videos and then proper, in that format only. Yes, is the first question answered. How to choose your subjects? Definitely go with the basic subjects. Yes. The second point is things to do before starting a subject. So now you've chosen the subject of your choice. The next step I want you guys to do is completely forget about the rest of the 19 subjects. That is very important, because oftentimes we will be coming with some concepts that are there and explained better in some other subject, right? But so we'll be tempted to switch subjects. So I just feel you should be focusing on one subject at a time, because yes, of course people have their own ways, like they try to do two subjects at the same time. But for me, I think number one reason is like you will be completing more topics if you will be doing one subject, and like that you will be motivated as well. And the next thing I want you guys to do is make a proper plans. So I'm going to be showing you how I go about it. So for example, here's a very simple technique that I follow. I just write down the contents, or if you have the printed notes, refer to the index directly, and you can roughly calculate the total time in a particular subject or a system. For example, here cardiology is taking 29 hours, and this 29 hours is including the extra time that I think that I might take, because sometimes a 2-hour video might take you 3 hours or less than that also sometimes, so according to that you just add into some extra hours. Here also I added about 8 hours, and then plan your days according to that. So after calculating the amount of time a particular topic or a subject requires you to put in, you can finally divide it into number of days and then start studying accordingly. Next, we focus on a very detailed approach towards how to start studying a subject. I'm going to be taking an example of medicine. So first thing that you're supposed to do is print out the notes. Yes, please print out the notes, because we are often told that if you write it down you will have better memory, blah blah blah, but still I feel it's best if you guys print it out. Why I'm telling this is because it's not just one subject that you're going to be studying, right? It's going to be 19 subjects, and you cannot be doing so many things. Like your full focus should be on the teacher telling you stuffs, and then you trying to understand things, and then at the same time if you write it down, no, of course, like you have to keep going back, and then that consumes a lot of time, so it's very important to be completing subjects in a like certain duration of time for yourself, and for your confidence and your motivation to keep going further. Because if you've been stuck with one subject for a very long time, that just demotivates you to another level, and that's very important to have that sort of momentum, in while we are studying, and that makes us feel so good, right? So please make sure to print out your notes. So when I start watching the video for the very first time, I usually highlight the topics, and I really try to grasp the concepts, add points that I feel complements it, and like here I have added some stick-ons. Do not try to remember things while you are just like listening to the teacher for the first time, because it's not possible also. And then don't be demotivated because you'll forget later the same thing, right? But yes, you've studied and something will be there. So writing down on sticky notes and pasting is one way of doing it, which I used to do before, but then these days I feel it's much more better if you just make like a separate copy, or for me I have some loose sheets and here I write all the additional points. So usually I mark like number 1, 2 or 3 if I have to refer to a specific place in my notes, in the printed notes. So I just write 1 over there, and then I refer, I just write like refer to your handwritten notes. So I just refer here. And also the second thing that I want to tell you guys is, after doing certain topics, and there are like q banks, please do not neglect them. They are very important, because many topics will be there that have not been taught in the video. So do not take it like it's something that like a test. Also, of course you should take it like a test, but at the same time do not be demotivated because you won't be able to answer many things. There will be a lot of things that they haven't even taught. So for that, I also if you choose the correct or a wrong answer, then if you scroll down, you will be able to see the explanation given, and sometimes there will be a lot of information over there, which I feel it's very important to write them down, and then not just like leave it for the heck of it. So for MCQs, I usually make like these sort of things, like I just write MCQ, and then I do not write like this is just random numbers. I just like write whatever I feel is important, and then go through them. It might be some topics which are not from medicine and from other subjects like microbiome, but it's very important for you guys to write them down. And so that was my point number 3, which makes us go to the most important point, that is point number 4, which is the revision. Yes, it's very important to revise, because this is one of the even if you do first 3 steps, and if you don't do the 4th one, it's going to be useless. I don't know how to emphasize more on this, but revision is very, very, very important, you guys. Like, do forget everything else, but you have to revise. Okay, so how my revision technique goes about is, and after asking like many people, how do you guys revise? Like, of course we have our own unique ways of revising, but this by far has worked for me. So what I usually do is, I finish about videos about 4 to 5 hours, then I revise all of them again. So my revision technique goes like, I play the video again with into 2 or 1.5 speed. Then I just look at the notes at the same time I play the video for the second time. So the video keeps playing, and then I refer to my notes, and then now of course you'll be feeling like, what is this, like I don't even remember any of this. Yes, that is very common and it's going to happen. So it's okay, don't worry, but then you just have to keep being consistent. And you might be feeling like this is not working for me, but it is going to work, because I faced this same same sort of feeling. So second time, you just play the video in some speed, and then go through your notes, and then try to okay, this was here, okay, this was there, okay, he meant this by that. Then you will be understanding everything, and since you've already marked all the important things and extra adding things, you don't really have to focus too much on that, and you can just focus on like learning and remembering this time over. So you can just like remember things, and then understand the concepts. And this is usually when I start asking questions, because a lot of similar things will be put together, you know, because this will also have the same thing and this will also have the same thing, you know. And this is the time when you should be making certain notes that will help you distinguish two diseases, you know, for differential diagnosis especially, and similar concepts and very confusing ones, you know. So for that, I usually make up like in the same paper that I was doing like my first time note extra put-ins and then the MCQs, you know, right in that only. For example, I just make like these sort of flow charts, like very easy, guys. Like just keep it simple and doable, you know. No need to do many things. I mean, this might sound like many things, but people do way more things than this also, you know. So this is the minimum that you have to do. So yeah, just go with the flow charts and then, you know, like generalize similar things in one place, like these sort of things. So like that, because when you come again to revise for the third time, you know, now you're able to differentiate things like this, you know. You don't have to like again understand the same things, and all the questions that pop in your head will be solved like this. So that was what you are supposed to do for revision using Prepladder. So even in your third revision also, you can watch the video again, but this time over I usually don't. So after watching the video for the second time along with the notes, I go through the notes again. Like how I do is, this time over I just read everything out loud, because that makes much more sense to me, because that has been my way of studying since I was in my school. So it helps me a lot. So I just read it out loud, you know, like this happens, this happens, and then try to make it like a story, and then keep everything in front of me, not just like reading for the heck of reading, but also like really understanding. Like please do not fool yourselves into thinking that you've understood things when you have not, you know, because that is something that I used to do, and then I had to pay a lot for that. So yeah, just go just read it out loud, like if you guys want to, but you guys can find your own way of revision. But this is just me sharing my way, and then which really changed my life, because I've always been someone who studies you know, like a week or two before exams, and then I just somehow managed to clear it out. So yeah, for me, I used to mug up every line by line, you know, and then nowadays it's just like next to impossible to be doing such bizarre stuffs, right? So if you also face similar things, you can definitely try this method out and let me know if it works for you also. And if you also have some amazing techniques, you know, please let me know. That would mean the world to me. So I guess that was pretty much it for my videos. So I'm just going to be summing everything up in the coming slide, and you guys can just take like a screenshot also. Yes, so my last message for you guys is, please stay consistent, keep learning, do not be pushed around by your fears. Remember why you chose medicine, you know, and then keep serving people with your knowledge. Bye bye. Thank you so much. Please like, subscribe and share.